with both hands, and it was not easy. Maybe I can try to show you Atsuko. We didn't watch Atsuko yesterday morning. You did that yesterday morning.
I think so.
Then we will see. But okay, try to see. You see, you use almost no brake outside, huh?
Yeah.
So even if the glider is a little collapsed inside and sometimes frontal collapse, so this kind of a deep collapse inside is sometimes when you enter a little too fast in the spiral.
Yeah.
Because when you are spiraling, the center of rotation is, when you are nose down, the center of rotation is touching the glider. We can see that when we make acro, two pilots together, when we make a synchro spiral. If you incline, you get closer, 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 and you can touch. And most of the time we touch just before at around 80 degrees. So it means probably at 80 degrees, the center of the rotation is touching the glider. And when you are less, you're more, okay. So the center of rotation is almost in the glider. That means that the glider, the wind is from here to here.
Yeah.
And that's why now, with some gliders, they put some big winglets, like Air Design or also Ozone. They put big winglets.
Yeah.
It's for the glider to escape this neutral spiral, because the wind is going from this to here. In spiral, the wind is like that. That's why you have this deep collapse inside. That's not a big problem. But for you to control the spiral, you should have, I tell you this morning, after contact point, 25 inside, 25 outside, not only contact, 25 as a starting point. And then from that point, more or less, you know, but directly more brake. Then you will feel better your glider. Not enough. Not enough brake. And no recovery, nothing happened, and suddenly again more.
Again more.
Less and up, climb. Okay. Too early catch, but at least good release. Not mechanical, but very early. Catch very early. And bam! Like very, very early. Release okay.
Release okay.
Second try. Sometimes it's kind of a frontal collapse. Also, it's normal. Sometimes you have the tip inside and the frontal collapse. If you don't want frontal collapse, you should remove your wrap and have very, very, very long brake. If you have very long brake, maybe your profile is like that outside. But if you have two short brakes, the profile is like the orange one. And it's a big. It's a brake-induced collapse.
I see.
Profile is like the orange one. He wants to make reflex, but the brakes are too short. So, but this is not a problem. Recovering and now. So if I want dissipation, this is recovery. Probably something like boundary somewhere here. So now if you want to dissipate the energy, you should shift right, look half turn more right to have a direction to go. One more half turn, and like now, almost E, turn to make the dissipation, but actively, because you know, turn right, of course. If you turn left, you can fall into your canopy. Don't make a reversal, because if you do nothing now, we know the movement. If we do nothing, we will have a climb and a roll to the left, and then a surge and a roll to the right. This is the natural movement we have. If we do nothing now, if you wait a little more and you break progressively, you will make a compensation. This is what you do. You make compens because you make it look. You make it very late. You make light here. Okay, no break, break, no break, break. So that's very late. So that's a compensation. More than S. So you make a climb with compensation. But if you want here to make a dissipation, it's now down, right hand, shift, look behind, and go and pull right. It's if you want to dissipate on this time. Otherwise, so let's see this second catch. Oh no, still same mistake. Too early breaking, but really timing okay. Same mistake. Oops. And then come to landing. And the landing, it's not very easy. I don't know if you have it. No, I don't have it. But it can be interesting. Same exercise with Atsuko yesterday morning. So that was the plan. Incline, 45, no more. Recover, 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 slowly, 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 and again inside. Re-incline, 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 and again, recover, recover, and now, go on, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning, release slowly. So that was the goal. Atsuko-sara! Good demonstration. Okay? So, if you can do that, right and left, you can do, if you want to be quiet, between 45 and boundary. Of course, when you feel okay, you can do that 90, 45, boundary, 90, 45, boundary. Of course, but the most difficult is slow recovery without climbing. You must keep inside. So that was the goal. I don't know, maybe we repeat one more time. Recovery, boundary. This is probably later. Okay, climb and catch. Well, a bit shy and release on it. Okay, that was the goal. Yeah. Okay. I want to make a conclusion about the course, about what we learned during these 4 days, five days with the first day. And I want to go back to our reaction plan. Sorry, this is French word, so I want an English word. The reaction plan, you remember? How to react in case of problem. So this we already studied and we will go back, but yesterday we made a course about how to prevent collapse with active piloting, trying to compensate the loss of pressure with brakes or with a rear riser to prevent collapse. Active, it's better not to have the collapse with active piloting. Active piloting and also, a good weather analysis. I mean, don't go fly under the wind in turbulences. So this is also the pilot's responsibility to check the conditions you are flying in, okay? And second part, active piloting. I don't want my glider to collapse. I try to prevent collapse, okay? And this job you can do with, so compensate the loss of pressure. I can do this with my brakes and also with my rear riser. And it's of course much better with rear risers. Okay, so this will be also your homework. Learn to fly with the rear riser, but of course with a performance glider, but also for everybody. For example, today at the landing, he fly over the trees. Mistake. Okay, mistake. Facing the wind, turbulence. If you brake a little, you go back.
Yeah.
And if you don't brake, and there's some turbulence, you don't feel nothing, maybe you have the collapse.
Yeah.
That's why I ask you a rear riser piloting in this case. So you keep speed, but you can feel your glider and have active piloting. And the glider stay more stable.
Yeah.
So it's important for us, not only for performance, but also for security, to learn to brake control with the rear.
Yeah.
Control your direction and also control the loss of pressure. Okay. So if I have a collapse coming, I try to compensate my loss of pressure. If I am a bit late and the collapse is coming, very, very slow motion, and the collapse is coming, I have my loss of pressure, I can make a very fast brake pump at the moment of the collapse to have a better reopening. And then hands up, okay? Because take care, you remember that after a frontal collapse, in fact, the glider is stalled. Frontal collapse, finally, is stalled. The air flow do not fly. The glider don't fly after a frontal collapse. It is stalled. Not backfly, but kind of parachuting. So remember, stall, you have the glider can be parachuting or backflying. And we remember that deep stalling, parachuting, most of the time the surge are around 20 degrees, but backflying, the surges 90 degrees, huh? Plus pendulum surge. It's very important to understand this. Okay. So, of course, after brake pump or prevent collapse, I have my collapse, or I have, for example, asymmetrical stall or something. Of course, the first thing is very important, hands up. But not a touristical hands up. Very good hands up, secured hands up. I grab my riser to secure my gesture. Otherwise, I make bad movement. I can twist. If I am unbalanced, my hands will do bad movements. If I grab, it's more professional, more nice, less cascade of incidents. So, of course, your homeworks, I will repeat later, but it's hands up. If you have one thing, only one to remember from that course is hands up. One thing to work is hands up. But this is the most important, because this is the start of everything. So of course, if I have a surge, I catch. And we see it's not easy to catch, because we have two kinds of surge. We have the pendular or pendulum surge and the aerodynamic surge. Two different kinds of surge, remember? So it's not, this is something we try to work. You see, some of you still not okay after 4 days working, starting with pitching, then spiraling with climb exit, and today when you have the climb,
ไปนั่ง
again braking too early. And braking too early doesn't help to make a good catch. While if it's a small movement, it's not a problem. But if it's a big movement with a very slow glider behind, then it's a problem to catch early. So it's good to remember the good timing. We spoke about the parachuting.
これあれで
Mistake. Parachuting.
マックでしかやれないか
You know, deep stall, vertical trajectory. This can be bigger and then deep stalling. This can be a frontal collapse with the glider reopen but keep ears, then parachuting. Frontal collapse, sticky, parachuting, fly under the rain. Remember croissant shape. The tip goes in front.
でパーク
A ball over my head, break back. So this is easy. And sometimes if you see a croissant, it's easy, but hurry. Don't late too much. Hurry for the break back. Okay. And then of course we have a hands up, but it's turning. Two different situations. My glider is open. Turning open, this is called a spiral. So exit of the spiral, I think we work a lot of the spiral. Of course, it's important if I am low to exit fast. This is why we first work on the fast exit. We can have the climb exit. Oh, well, croissant, bar, etc. Path to exit fast. And then the climb exit or the dissipation, energy dissipation exit. But if I have a cravat, then and it's turning, then it's called auto rotation. So first counter, try to exit the rotation, take the heading, and then reopen the cravat. And I have most of the time 3 solutions: stable line, tip collapse, and of course the best solution, asymmetrical stall. If I have my heading, if it's still turning, rotating, still turning, I have to counter more, still rotating, more, still rotating, more. Sometimes go to stall. And if I am low, of course, I open my reserve. I didn't show you some images, and I really have to show you now. Right after this reaction plan, I will tell you about something we call homeostasis of the risk. Because after a SIB like that, you can feel, okay, now I know what auto rotation is, and I know, okay, it's easy to exit auto rotation, okay? So I want to show you something, and then we continue talking about auto rotation. Sometimes glider don't enter rotation, like this one. Good position of the pilot, the glider doesn't want to go. He makes the outside roll, a big shift inside, okay, no, you see? Real, okay? And we tried another time on the next flight, and no, the glider didn't want to enter auto rotation. And sometimes people say, oh, good glider. But no, not good glider. I mean, yes, maybe good glider. In real life, you never do auto rotation with this kind of collapse, because remember, when you collapse and release, glider reopen. Even if you fall into your glider, because you're not very good, you fall and you do nothing, no counter, glider reopen, and maybe you make a quarter turn, and looks like a spiral exit. So the collapse we made for auto-rotation is something very easy. I can have 2 fingers in my nose. I don't know if you understand this expression, but in France, when something is easy, we said, oh, 2 fingers in the nose. 2 fingers in my nose, right shift, and sometimes I exit very easily. But in reality, what happened? Oh, same pilot, same glider, later, oh sorry. So first we couldn't be successful to have the auto-rotation, but then in the real life, with a real cravat, most of the time you are twisted, okay, untwist, and then, okay, you see, now he's in auto-rotation and a bad management of auto-rotation, and this will end with open the reserve because we were low. So remember that making asymmetrical collapse, auto-rotation, exit is easy. Real life, not so easy. I show you one more example. We will compare this big side collapse and this little cravat. Okay, look. Yeah. So the pilot entered fast and had a little cravat outside. So this means now we have a pilot fully right. Yeah. He has half glider collapse on the right and a little cravat on the left. He ends up, he shifts, so the pilot wants to turn right. And looks what happened. The small cravat stopped the left rotation and stop the right rotation and start a left rotation. A small cravat makes you turn more than a big collapse. Okay? We can try to explain why. This is making drag very close to the center of rotation. And this is making drag far from the center, not the center of rotation, sorry, the center of gravity. So look, I can turn like that, okay? If you push here, you make me turn very easy. If you push here, you make me turn very easy. But if you push here, I don't turn. So I have a big collapse here that push here, and other side I have a little cravat where the drag push here. So makes me turn more. Yeah. You see this effect? This is why small cravat, even small, makes you turn and you can end into auto rotation easier than with a big cravat sometimes. Last week we had one very big cravat, almost like this, and didn't turn that much. And sometimes you have a very small and whoa, you turn. Okay? Okay. So just remember that small cravats, in the real life, the day you will have a cravat, you learn here how to react. How to react, counter, right shift, brake, contact, and if necessary, more. But sometimes it will not be as easy as what you did. So sometimes it's more. And sometimes more until stall. One more example. First, SIV. You will see, maybe too big collapse, that's why it's not turning too much. And you see, this is normal speed. Very slow rotation, very easy to exit, to counter. And then real life, I go a little bit faster. Real life, of course, more difficult. pilot twisted, big cravat, and sometimes the only way to escape is stalling. So this is real life. It's not turning slowly. So it's the same. Come on, counter, more and more and more and more and more and more until the stall. Come on, pull down, more. Okay, stall, hands up, catch, hands up. So sometimes you have to counter more. It will not be always so easy. So you know the sensation, you know what you have to do, but maybe it will not be so easy as what we did in this course, okay? So it's important for me to tell you that. So back to conclusion. Maybe I go fast, fast, exit, auto rotation. Okay, so if it's still turning, counter more, maybe until stalling. Oh, sorry, that's not the French version. I go to the English one, sorry.
I just made it.
Tac. So, counter more until the full stall. So, we didn't do a back fly, full stall and back fly, but one solution is back fly. And back fly, it's like hands up. Yeah. It's better if I can secure by grabbing somewhere to make sure that I will not make unwanted movement. So we call that safety or secured back fly, okay, if I grab. And remember one more about the rotation. I am twisted. I am lost. I didn't practice spiral since 5 years, and suddenly, wow, it's spiraling. I don't know which size I am turning. I've got a good altitude, a good height. I can try golden key. Yeah? AV symmetrical braking. I keep more. If I have long brakes, I make a wrap, and I go until my carabiners. But you remember this needs altitude. Yeah? And I can go until the stall, why not? But if I have low, I throw my reserve. In France, we have this word, plus d'un tour, c'est secours, in French. Plus d'un tour, secours. More than a turn, reserve. Maybe it's too simple, because sometimes if you've got altitude, you can turn more than a turn, but it's not good, it's not acceptable to make one more than a turn, unwanted turn. So you should not make more than a turn. It's not normal to make more than a turn if you don't want to turn, okay? Long delay of reaction. Maybe if you have a good reaction and it's turning, it's because the situation is difficult. So it's not normal to make more than a turn, unwanted turn. So, of course, if you have a good height, you can fight more than a turn. But remember, if you are low, it's turning, you don't know which side is turning, you are twisted, of course, open your reserve. So, this is, you remember the reaction plan, it was the introduction of the course. Now it's a conclusion with all, and it's almost all here, you have almost the knowledge of the course in a few words like that, and the reaction sequence. Okay? So, for those that want to make the photo, it's a moment to make it. Yes. Then I would like to speak about, I told you about the homeostasis of the risk. Statistically, whatever your level, your technical level, you almost have the same risk statistically. Of course, in this course, I hope you increase your technical level, you know to control, or at least you have an idea about what a spiral is and how to control, what a surge is and how to control, to counter, you know what auto-rotation is and how to counter, so you have better skills, technical skills. But here we are talking about risk. And statistically, you have almost the same risk. It's important to realize it. They made, I hope you will understand me, but they made a statistic with a driver in Canada driving on the snow. And they were making statistics between pilots that made a clinic, a workshop to learn to drive on the snow, and see their accidentality, how many accidents they had, and other with pilot without the workshop that didn't learn to drive on the snow, and they have the same accidentality, the same risk. But the one that made the course are better. They know how to brake on the snow, they know to control better, they have a better knowledge, they have a better skill, but they have the same accidentality. Why? Because they feel more comfortable, so maybe they drive faster, they take more risk. That's why you have a road, broken road, very bad road, a lot of accident on the road. You repair the road is beautiful, and you still have a lot of accidents because people feel comfortable and then they drive faster and they have the same accident. So remember that security, technical level and security, I mean security decrease your risk, is not only the skills, the technique, it's in your head. Yeah? Very important. Because we have a perception of risk. If I feel a high risk because I've got a new glider, because I'm flying in a place I don't know this place, or it looks scary because many rocks or electric lines or something, it feels scary. So I take less risk. I will fly far from the ground, okay? So I try to fly more safe. Attention, I be careful, okay? But if I feel, if I have a low risk perception, I know very well my glider, I made an SIV course, I know to exit a spiral, I know to exit auto-rotation, I know perfectly the place, and oh, my girlfriend is watching at me, and I feel confident. I take more risk. Maybe if I don't take risk, I feel boring. So I made something, for example, okay, I buy another glider, I buy another harness, I try to make some more acro, or I push more my speed bar. And then, of course, it's more dangerous. So remember that security is your skills, your technical level, and the way you practicing. So it's important for me to tell you this after a SIV course, because sometimes people feel very confident after, okay, I know to exit auto-rotation. So don't remember that. So what safety is in your mind, okay? So of course, try to increase your technique, of course, your piloting technique. But try to fly a little below your maximum. I have the level to fly a sea glider, but I stay quietly with my B plus. I have the level to take a B. Oh, okay, I keep my A glider, for example.
Why?
I have the level to make competition with a pod harness, but okay, I stay with my seated harness. This is what we call fly a little under your maximum level. So it's in your mind, huh?
Mấy trình độ của em mua dù 3 xe.
This is called humility. Give up. To know how to give up. Okay. Making a lot of ground handling. After a long session without flying, a lot of ground handling, flying in very, very calm conditions, evening or morning. Okay. And of course, the pilot is to be a pilot is making choice. The choice. The way you practice, I want to practice cross country, I want to practice acro, I want to practice mountain, I want to practice I don't know what. So the kind of practice. Of course, the aerology I will fly in, okay. Oh, today is too strong, I wait, I will go later. And of course your material, as I already told, okay. The next slide, a little word about your equipment. So I told you already, but it's better to have an easy glider, but you know it perfectly, you have a perfect control, you feel very confident, and even if it's not the best glide, maybe you will have better flight with it than if you buy something a bit too high for you, and maybe you are a little scary under this glider, and maybe you would not be so good. So, not only performance. And something about of course, the competition harness. We didn't see here because today was the day to take the competition harness, but in my course, if I have some pilots with a speed harness, everybody can see that it's more difficult just to make a climb exit in a spiral with a pod harness. If you forget to sit and you stay, pilot twist more, it's more difficult because sometimes the wind pushes you, so it's difficult to come back. So it's more difficult. Piloting is more difficult with this position and the pod harness. So okay, let's complicate the piloting and more risk of twist. So it's your choice. Of course, if you make competition, lots of cross country, of course you have a better performance with this kind of harness. That will be a problem now with a submarine. Now if you don't have a submarine, you have no chance in competition.
I love submarine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You love?
Yeah.
I hate. This is something I can't understand. I don't
it's
want.
very nice.
Yeah, you see nothing. So priority at the one down, you don't see him, so you don't prevent collision. You don't feel the wind in your face, which is very important to feel deep stalling, for example, like you didn't feel.
Choice. 900 or reserve.
Yeah, but I tell you about safety,
Yeah.
and of course not about performance. But for safety, this is crazy. And you make a huge climb, and then you have a huge pendulum surge. The tail can goes in your face, and then you are blind. You don't see nothing. And if you have to refuge in backfly, same. And blind. So, buy this kind of harness only if you are on the top 20 or the top 30 World Cup pilot. Okay, this is my point of view. Remember that I am not. I am only one part of your culture, your own culture, and you will make your own decision. But somebody has to tell you about the risk of twist, about the mental. So I tell you, I deal no glider. I'm not a dealer. So, and I would like you to become old and happy pilots. So this is my goal. And
yes.
sometimes this year I had one guy. At the end of the course, I tell him, you should change your glider. You don't have the level of your glider. 2 months after, he died with his glider. Of course, he did what he wanted, but with my with my teaching experience, I tell him, change your glider. You don't have the level for this glider. You look, 3 days working catch, you still don't know how to catch. When it's rotating, you lose your mind. You should have an easier glider. He was keeping flying with this glider and he died. With an easier glider, he would be probably with us, a happy pilot. Not anymore. Oof. So, it's up to you. Of course, if you want to access to high performance glider, high performance harness, you should increase your level, technical level. It's not because you increase your technical level that it is necessary to take risk, to be happy, to be a happy pilot. Okay. And then to continue, this course is just the beginning. So your homeworks, what are we talking about? How you grip your headers. Of course, this is a bit shy. This is dangerous, I think. This is too shy. This is not the best because it takes time to remove. In the school I am working, there are 25 instructors. 25 instructors, all instructors. They are all flying with a wrap. But sometimes we teach our students to fly like that. Okay, so, but what we realize that almost all professionals fly like that. More sensitive, more authority, more, okay. So, learn, try. If you don't like, you don't like, but you can try to make a wrap. You will probably feel much better, turn more, you will turn better. Of course, more sensitive, more risk of stone, but try. The most important of the course, hands up! Grab your risers.
Grab your rise.
Yes.
Remember.
For pod harness, every flight, this morning you try the safety position.
Yeah.
Every flight, work your safety position. For example, you make 2 hours flying. During that 2 hours, take 10 minutes to turn more seated, security. If you don't practice every flight your safety position, you will not take this position when event happens. So every flight, you take the position, you make your thermal, or you practice some piloting seated. I mean seated correctly, the knees like we teach. Of course, even with smooth gliders, learn how to pilot with the rear, because it's not only for performance, it's also for safety. So sometimes you say, okay, I have a transition, I don't brake, I pilot, so long brake and pilot with the rear. Try to feel, compensate the loss of pressure, turn, and then you will be confident with that. So that's very helpful. We were speaking this afternoon or this morning about ground handling, and okay, glider inflated or parachuting. So parachuting, inflated. Okay. Now more down and parachuting aspect. Okay, parachuting. I pull a little my air riser and flying. Inflated or not inflated? And all the pendulum exercise, so roll, amplify, dampen, with the right shield, with brakes, with the rear risers. Be able to make a false turn without rolling too much. I didn't see problem here. Pitching, not necessary to make big pitch, but remember that the goal when we make pitch is to see the boundary, not to feel the boundary, to see the boundary. So pitching with gaze at 45 degrees. Spiral, it's up to you now. I think the most important is control of the inclination, controlling inclination. Slow recovery, fast recovery, control of inclination. Not gaze, but gaze. Measure glider angle between glider and horizon. Got climb exit, dissipation exit. So now it's up to you to make your homeworks. And when you come to a next course, probably your instructor will ask you, you did a course already? What did you do? Did you make your homework? No, I couldn't, too much work, I couldn't fly, and then after 3 months I flew but too low where I fly, so I didn't practice parallel anymore since the last course. Okay, so then, okay, we repeat, you will learn faster, but you will have to work some days, some flights to become confident with this power. If you tell, oh yes, every day I was flying, I was spiraling right, left. Okay, show me a spiral with climb exit. Okay. Show me a spiral with dissipation exit. Okay. We will go much faster to the next step if you practice your homeworks.
今日ドローンとこれですパラシュート
But when you practice, we were speaking about a place like Organia, when you can thermal, position. So you train, you must have a crash zone. If you imagine, if you threw your reserve, you should not finish into the house or electric line or water. So here, safety was water, because we had the life jacket and the boat and the jet ski ready to rescue us. So, but if you are over the water without life jacket, without a boat watching you and ready to rescue you, water is very dangerous. Much better to train over the little forest or a rice field. But always when you practice, imagine, okay, if I open my reserve with the drift, where I will finish, and not over a town, not over dangers,
今日1本だけ飛んで
forest,
翔
field,
ちゃんのとこ
okay,
音
the
を
wind, and try to have the good position, and also good attitude. If I have good position, good attitude, I can
入れた。
practice things I don't manage perfectly, I make mistake, I have time to recover.
入れた。
今
When I am lower, I take less risk. And if I am very low, less than 400 meters, I take no risk. If I can practice, but only things I control perfectly. Okay, so altitude with a good position, altitude is safety. Bad position, even with a good altitude, is not safe. So this is the concept of a box, like we had here. Positioning, if I have problem, water. So you must imagine your box if you want to practice at home, okay? Don't make a spiral without thinking where you are. Okay. You must think about that. And to finish, I always tell you that you will practice at your own risk. It means that there is no instructor to help you if you are alone. So it's difficult to make an auto-evaluation. Sometimes you make mistakes and you don't realize. If nobody see your mistake and tell you, hey, take care, you release too early, take care. You release too late your catch, take care, you catch too early. Maybe you keep training something bad, and it will be difficult to change. So try to practice, but okay, if you don't feel confident, if you are not sure, also wait and do another course until you feel confident enough. It's up to you. It will be at your own risk. And it's not easy to remember all we said during this course, because between what you wanted to understand, what you think you understood, what you will remember in 2 days, in 2 weeks, in 2 months, into a year. Maybe you remember not good. It's not easy. Many information. So okay, it's up to you. That was my conclusion. I don't know if you have some questions. Just to finish, I told you before that you have many different ways to have information. I hope we gave you here lots of information. You can go to the internet and you will have information. Some good information, or sometimes not so good. So sometimes you can have, you are lucky, you have a good instructor close, you can ask. You can ask, hey, look at my spiral, what do you think, for example? Sometimes there's a very good pilot where you fly, but maybe he's not a very good pilot for piloting. Maybe he don't have the good pedagogical. So maybe you can have a very good pilot, but bad recommendation. So take care who give you advice, and make your own culture with my course, Oggy's course, other course, internet. Try to open your mind, be aware, and my last word is try to be a happy old pilot. It's not necessary to make 600 kilometers to be happy. Sometimes yes. Sometimes even with 20 kilometers you can be very happy. With a soaring flight you can be happy. Just practicing a spiral, moving into the air, feeling the wind, like dancing in the air. Sometimes makes you happy. Apple style, okay. But quietly, it's up to you. Try to become old, happy pilots. So that was my conclusion, and I hope it was helpful for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know if you understood everything, but thank you. And we can also, I think, thanks to the staff, technical staff here, was you were very lucky because it's impressive. I'm really impressed. Like 4 students and okay, helpers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wendy organization, the boat staff, 1, 2, 3 person in the boat, 1 person in the jet ski, a tent, some simulator. So that's a huge organization to try to bring you this information, and I am really impressed about the staff work. I asked, when they asked me, David, we want you to make a SIV here. I said, okay, but I need a big TV. I have my big TV. I'm happy. I need my things, even if this one is it's not the best because okay, it's moving. Maybe this should be higher. Maybe this should be bigger. But I have this is very important tools for me to teach. If I don't have it, I'm more difficult. So they really made a great job. They made some simulator. They made the simulator for this course, and this is a very important tools for you to understand more easy, to be able to train. So it's really impressive work. So we can. I think we can give.
Thank you.
Thank you to the organization and all helpers. Voila, and now. Okay. Maybe Wendy, you want to tell something? You can speak English if you want us to understand, and of course you can speak.
Yes.
Vietnamese.
Yeah, actually the first time we did SIV with you, yeah, very famous SIV teacher, and not only the student here, because a lot of students in Vietnam, they also know this SIV, and they surprised, wow, that we come to Vietnam and teaches SIV in Vietnam. That helped me a lot of energy to the next step, and for me and for all of the students, maybe they really thank you because not only knowledge, you give them a lot of knowledge about paradigm, how to fly safety, yes, and give them a lot of energy to fly high, fly better, and fly safety. Yeah, thank you
so.
very much.
Welcome. Take pleasure.
Đại diện học sinh đi. I think until when đại diện học sinh đi.
I speak yesterday, but we had alcohol already.
Lúc mà nhậu rồi.
Yeah. Anyway, this no more or less. I feel the same like you. Be very impressive with the school. Yeah, the school is organized things very well, and you are not a helper, but also a friend who will support a lot us on the field, and also for everything during 5 days, 4 days of the class. Yeah, and a special thanks to three. So really, they woke up even early than us to prepare things. Then complete, of course, later, right? Yeah, and we already observed a lot of very helpful knowledge. Yeah, of course, there's something we didn't do really well. Sorry, but we keep practicing. Yeah, and of course, we did our level of the risk taken. Yeah, to decide. Yeah, this one method is safe, more safe. It's still safer. It's still not like a take high risk for sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. So last but not least, thank you very much. Yeah. For our way from here, from France and from Japan to help us. Yeah.
And thank you for your help for translation.
Yes, that's very important.
Maybe we had 30 minutes for total shower and practice and go back to England. Maybe.
We all go together. Now you have your own car
Yeah, car.
and everything. Did you get all the radios back, everything? You know,
Equipment.
on your handle, the little floating system.
No problem. I did. Yes.
You give.
Yeah. I have
Souvenir.
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 I should
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
told the rest.
Okay,
I just already.
Okay. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very
Maybe I'll see you somewhere before going.
Around, yeah.
Shower, quick, and then we go to Ho Chi Minh.
Yes.
But maybe I see you. If some of you go, maybe bye now, just in case.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you for your help. Bye.